Hey everyone, Marsh from Consequence here. I'm going to go over Artificer. Now, I don't think Artificer is the hardest fight in the world, but it's definitely a little weird. And what I have on the right here is like one of our um, reclears note, and on the left I have our kill video. And I know it's not the same, but I kind of want to show people where the meta is going a little. So if you look on the left here, and we killed this week one, so not like we don't really have 4 sets, and a lot of us don't have 2 sets. But what we're gonna do here is, you see the range? We're positioned in this corner. Now the reason we do this is because we want to bait the traps here. We know we're not gonna come back here the rest of the fight, and we want to dump as many traps here as possible. And we also know that the traps, they cannot be cleared. When you clear them, you can it's just temporary. And what you probably missed is that on the rip, the first group goes instantly. So the fight starts, and you see the wormhole cast go out here. Now, if so, the way we have the first platform set up in this group, I think we use a DH, a Windwalker, a Warrior, but you want to look at like what you have and what CDs you have going, right? So like a Windwalker Monk's really good over there, and a DH is really good over there, right? Because the DH is going to meta, and he can clean everything up, and a meta is like a longer CD, so you know on the first set that he's going to be able to do that. Warriors are really going over, and Windwalker, as I said, and you can kind of place classes with like a 2 minute interval, or like a 3 minute interval really is really safe, but you need to make sure that you kill the middle guy and before he spreads all the stuff on the ground, and you need to make sure you kill the small guys as well. If they finish their cast, they will kill everyone. But they go over, as you see, they're all running, and there's one healer and one tank going as well, which isn't in this note. These are all DPS players. So, and then again, we'll look at the main platform here. So we are baiting traps, and you see all these traps are really well baited because we're going to place the first portal here at star, as well as the tank portal is maybe a little too close. We did this week one, but it's okay. So right now we're dodging, but you can see we're pre-positioned next to the portal because we know that the first one is going to come from the middle of the room. So and Calm's probably saying just wait a second, because you want all this stuff to clear so you don't just land on something. So once it clears, you land, and the tank is going to follow the beam out. And as you see, like we don't have a lot of gear here, so a lot of us are running away from the boss, and we're going to get gripped, and then we're going to spread for traps. The range will bait, and as you see, we're baiting in this corner again, and we're going to keep all the traps in this area. Now with the current meta, you'll probably be looking to push in like 10 to 15 seconds, but if your damage is low, we can go over the rest of this. You know, our damage is low here from gear. So the fight continues, and you have another ring. So the ring's going to come out, and we're just going to go through the portal again. And the tank's going to get another tank bomb, right? If I remember properly. Yep, he gets a tank bomb. Grips us, same thing. Get away from the tank a little. And you're going to bait traps again. Now, I haven't seen a lot of guilds get this overlap in quite a while, but this is just a heads up. And you're going to want to beat this next ring here. Dealing with the ring is just a pain. So the ring's going to come out, or we beat it. So if it comes out, if you push the boss, it'll cancel the ring. So these ads, we had range kicks assigned on the ones on the outside. And this massive blast cast, you see the cone, it has to be stunned. So you see we have an in-cap roar on there. So we group them all together, AoE them down, we interrupt, and we're going to stun that massive blast again. There's a Chaos Nova, and we have that assigned. So we know who's getting what, and we AoE everything down. If you let a massive blast go off, people are just going to die. It's kind of hard to see, and it will one-shot. So the second group, again, like the reason it's like this, the reason the hunters are in platform 3 and you're going to see the hunters go over here in platform 2 is because how fast we're pushing the boss now with gear. 2 minutes will not be up in this situation if we use them on pull. So they will be up if we do platform 3, which is why it's like this. But you'll see, let's see what we send over here. So we're sending over Double Hunter, Rogue, a Warrior, and a Guardian Druid with the old unnerfed AoE. So you see on this platform, these guys are casting, and then you have the big guy, right? So there's a tank frontal here. Tank points it away, and we want to clean all of these adds up before their cast finishes. So it's easy, and we have a rogue doing the majority of the damage to the single target. We also sent over a DH here just to help. DH is like it's just a safe class. I wouldn't. They're probably pretty bad going on platform 2, but this fight is not a damage check. So whatever you do to clear the platforms the most efficiently is what you're gonna want to do. Now, you do not want to go near the edge here because of um there's going to be a ring that spawns here, and as you see up here, there's a portal placed here, and we placed this portal so we didn't see it in the video, but whoever gets the portal will place it, and then they'll gateway over if they're assigned. Now in our reclears, we put the portal on the other side because it's just better, but again, this was week 1, so we were kind of like experimenting and going with our gut. However, in this situation, we're waiting, they're waiting, and there's a ring coming out. And there's a double ring. Oh, he turned around. That sucks. But what you're going to see here is when the ring's coming in, you're going to need the tank to get to the other side and grip the whole group through the ring. So when tanks are able to grip you through the ring, you're able to take no damage. So a lot of tanks can do this. What's really commonly used is like Paladin Immunes or Monk Transcend. We use, I think DK AMS can do it. I'm not sure about the other tanks, but I believe most tanks have a way to deal with it, except for like Guardian Druid, which is why you send our Guardian Druid over there on that platform so our DK can do this. And the DK walks through the ring with AMZ, and then we're going to drop traps here. And then you'll see on the queue that there's another set of rings coming, so we want to cheat to this portal. And like usually we have the portal on this side, but it's okay. And as you see here, we have markers where you put the portals, everyone. So the next one's going to be green. So we go through. We bait again. And there's a tank bomb. He's going to go back through the portal and grip us through. A few people died there. The damage is not as bad as it is anymore. But having DPS dead is not that big of a deal. So usually you'd be pushed by now with current gear, but again, pre-gear we had to, do like all the fights properly. So right now we have another bait, and see how we're baiting near old traps? I feel like, that's what a lot of guilds struggle with as well as assigning. And then we're gonna go through another tank beam. Again, you want to make distance between yourself and the tank. See how he AMS through? Again, you're not going to see this twice, but we had to do it twice. We go through. And hopefully we push before the hyperlick. So if you push during the traps, it's going to do like the dot, and it's going to do like double damage. It's kind of weird, so actually we're going to get it. It can. So we're going to get this damage plus the intermission damage with the dot. It's going to be pretty hard to heal. Not ideal, but again, we just have to push at that time. And we have range kicks assigned and stuns and CCs for the massive blast. I'm going to skip this because they're just grouped. So coming out of the intermission here, we're going to want to put the new gateway at green. And okay, you're going to see some of the the AoE slammers go over a second time. There was a bug week 1 where the third platform didn't give you stacks. So every time you go to a platform, you generate stacks, and that stacks is going to make it harder and harder and harder for you to go to another platform. That did not exist week 1. It was a bug. So what you see in this note here is you see like different DPS being involved. Now most DPS can do things now because of all the gear we have. So we're sending over a lot of AoE slammers because we kind of know like if we can get this, we're good to go. And they're gonna put the portal like the reason he waited is because he was seeing if he got the wormhole. If he got the wormhole, he would have placed it at the green marker. So we have our AoE group over here, and we're trying, again, we want to kill the small ads before the cast is over, and we need to kill the big ad before all the stuff on the ground spawns. This guy has a shield, so you need to keep it away. But it's okay. The ring spawns, and this is the timer when you have to kill it, right? So like we just had enough damage to get through it comfortably. And again, the DK tank's going to walk through the beam, grip us through, and we're going to spread and drop. And then we have to go, okay, this is one of the hard combos. This is a combo that gets guilt constantly. So you're going to get gripped, right? And then look at this. Look at the timers here. You have Genesis Ring and traps. So you drop the traps, and you want to instantly go through. And, yep, so you want to instantly go through, and that is the combo. So make sure that you're dropping near the portal, but like not on the side you're going to next. And blinks are really good in that situation, because if you can just blink right through, you're going to save other people. So now that you've cleared all the platforms, the fight becomes very easy. I will note there's some weird spell queuing here. We won't get it on our kill pool because our damage is so low. But if you do a weird amount of damage, like high-ish damage, he can like queue the he doesn't queue the portals, and you just kind of have no portals in the last phase, and you instantly die. So what you're gonna see here is we're completely fine because our damage is low and we've already passed that threshold. But it's basically heroic. It's a dance between the portals, and we get traps. So see how these guys are positioned here? That ain't good. You want to be positioned over here. But the fight is very easy in the last phase. So we drop the traps, we lust, and one thing to note is you'll see in a lot of videos, and this was not my idea. This is someone else's, the raid team's idea, and it's very, very smart. So you'll see a lot of videos drop the last portal all the way in this corner. And the reason you do that is because you want to double skip the beams, or the rings. And it's definitely a viable strategy, but I think it's really risky. So all we're going to do is... humans are very good. All we're going to do is we're going to drop the last portal at purple, and then near, like, the middle is wrong, but it's going to be, like, right on the outside. So let's see what we do in our kill pool. I don't remember. So the portals come out. Yeah, he's not right in the middle. So we're putting it on purple, and the reason we do this is because we were convinced that the double skip is just a little silly. It's just you're just putting yourself at risk to do this tight timer. So all we're doing is we're going through single, and then we're just gonna chase the boss, and so the tank's gonna go over, right? We're gonna go through. He's gonna grip us through. We're gonna spread, and then we're just gonna chase the beam again. So beam's coming in. We're going through. Another one's coming. You're just gonna chase the boss a little, and then you're gonna go through again. But that's an issue. Is sometimes you can that's just an issue with the fight where these pools on the ground can just spawn under you. But in this phase, you're really just chasing the boss and going through the beams. Now the double skip, you would have double skip there. Again, we think it's unnecessary. If you get to this part in the fight, it's basically over. So takeaways from Artificer, and I'll just let it play in the background. Takeaways from Artificer. The first thing you want to do is set up your DPS groups on the platforms. If you look at old VODs from week 1, you'll see bugged VODs. What you're going to want are bugged like kills, really, because the fight didn't work properly. So just overstack the platforms if needed, because damage on the boss can actually be a bad thing if you get the weird spell queue issue, as well as like communicate with your raid and see what's good. So like what we did is we used like Windwalker and Warriors and DH on the first one, right? And the second one, you can have like what you see here is like you can send more people over. Like the Warriors can live. Ooh, that's loud. The Warriors can live. They can go over twice, but they're putting themselves in some danger. So right in our alt run, we're using double mage, combust, and double warrior. These last two people are healers. So double mage, double warrior, and then we use quadruple hunter. But that's just because we're doing an alt run. Like let's say you have 2 hunters and a rogue, and something else like a warlock could even go over and just like AoE or another DH or something like that. Like they can go over and clean everything up. Just make sure that you are comfortably killing the ads over there. Make sure that when the portals are spawning, wait and drop them in the right spot before you go over to the platform. Some people will tell you that you can outrange the cast. I think that's true, but so like the idea is you gateway early and then run to the back of the platform and you won't get targeted by a portal. I think, in my opinion, that's just like too many variables to play with most players. Just add an extra DPS in the group. If someone gets it, they drop it in the spot, they'll just be late. It's fine. Other than that, once you kill the ads over there, don't go to the edge. Wait in the middle and drop your traps in the right place because that's what gets a lot of guilds. If you get gripped by a tank over a trap, you'll get trapped. We play Alliance, so you can just human racial out of it. It's kind of crazy, but in Horde, you're not going to be able to do that. So keep that in the back of your mind. Other than that, that's Artificer. Again, put portals in the right spots. You can use our video. I think our strat's good. And assign your platforms correctly. And make sure you raid and talk to your tanks. Make sure your tanks know when they're gripping people through the beam and how they're going to do each mechanic. Don't be in the middle of your night being like, okay, how is the tank going to handle this and this? They should have a plan. Other than that, best of luck, and I'll see you for the next video.